Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something about life, love, and relationships. Every man out here, no matter how tough he talks, no matter how smooth he acts, is wired to respect one thing: boundaries. You see, when a woman draws a line, not out of anger, but out of self-respect, that line becomes electric. It shocks a man into awareness. It makes him stop in his tracks and think, wait a minute, this woman is different. That's the one boundary that makes any man go crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that can change the whole way you see love, relationships, and how men respond to you. Respect for yourself is the one thing that sets the tone for how every man will treat you. It's the silent announcement of your worth before you even open your mouth. A woman who respects herself walks into the room differently. She carries a different kind of glow, a strength that makes people sit up and pay attention. Now, let me tell you something. Men notice that. Men are wired to test, to see what they can get away with, to see how far they can go. But when a woman sets the boundary of self-respect, when she makes it clear that she's not here to play games, it flips a switch inside a man. It makes him go crazy in the best way, because suddenly he realizes this is not just another woman. This is a woman who knows who she is. When you respect yourself first, you don't beg for love. You don't chase after attention. You don't lower your standards just to keep a man around. You stand tall in your truth, and that alone makes a man want to rise up to meet you where you are. A woman who respects herself doesn't wait around for breadcrumbs. She knows she deserves the whole loaf. And that one boundary of self-respect, that's what makes a man's head spin, because deep down, he knows he can't just slide in with smooth words and empty promises. He's got to come correct. You see, men pay close attention to what you allow. If you allow disrespect, they will continue to disrespect you. If you allow inconsistency, they will keep being inconsistent. But if you hold your head high and say, no, I don't move like that, I don't accept that, suddenly everything changes, because men may act tough, but they crave direction, they crave challenge, and they crave a woman who makes them better. And nothing makes a man want to step up more than a woman who respects herself so much that he has no choice but to treat her with the highest level of honor. Now, let me tell you something about the way men think. A man will test the boundaries to see what he can get away with, but he will respect the woman who doesn't let him cross the line. When you say, I will not be disrespected, I will not be treated like an afterthought, I will not be an option, you are teaching him how to love you. And trust me, when a man learns that lesson, he never forgets it. That's why so many men come back later after they lost a good woman saying, I should have treated her right. Because it wasn't the beauty alone. It wasn't the fun times. It was that self-respect that left a mark on his soul. Respecting yourself means you don't settle for a half love, a halfway commitment, or a halfway man. It means you don't lower your standards because you're afraid of being alone. Let me tell you something. Being alone with peace is 1,000 times better than being with somebody who doesn't value you. A woman who respects herself understands that her value does not decrease just because someone else couldn't see it. She knows that her worth is not up for debate. And that kind of mindset is magnetic, is irresistible. It drives men crazy because it challenges them to be better than what they've been. Think about it like this. If you walk into a store and everything is on sale, you don't value it as much. But if you walk into a place where the prices are firm, where the quality is undeniable, you know you've got to bring your wallet right. That's how self-respect works. A man knows he has to bring his very best to a woman who carries herself with dignity. He knows he can't play small games with her because she won't tolerate it. And that makes him want her even more. So ladies, when you respect yourself, you're not just protecting your heart. You're commanding the kind of love you deserve. That one boundary is the most powerful thing you have because it shapes how every man sees you, how he treats you, and how much effort he's willing to put in. A woman's self-respect is her crown, and when she wears it proudly, no man can ignore it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight from the heart. The quickest way to lose yourself in a relationship is to let a man treat you less than what you deserve. The truth is, people only do to you what you allow. A man may not know how to love right at first, but when you make it clear what you will and will not accept, that's when he learns. And let me tell you, if you want a man to step up, if you want him to see you as the treasure you are, you cannot allow yourself to be treated like second best. The boundary you set about how you expect to be treated is the line that makes any man respect you. And when he respects you, that's when he starts to go crazy for you. Here's the deal. Too many women stay quiet when they're not being treated right. They make excuses for him. They tell themselves, well, he's busy, or maybe he'll change. But let me break it down. When you accept crumbs, you'll never get the whole meal. When you accept the bare minimum, that's all you're ever going to get. Men don't suddenly wake up one morning and say, I think I'll start treating her better today. No, they respond to the standard you set. If you say, I'm not okay with being ignored, I'm not okay with being lied to, I'm not okay with being treated like I'm replaceable, you force him to rise to the occasion or move out of the way. And when a man realizes he can't get away with giving you less than his best, that's when he starts to respect you on a deeper level. Now listen, a man can buy you flowers, he can take you out to dinner, he can whisper sweet nothings all day long. But if he's not consistent, if his actions don't match his words, then he's treating you less than what you deserve. And you've got to be bold enough to say, no, that's not enough for me. And I know what some of you might be thinking, but Steve, if I demand too much, won't he walk away? And my answer is this. If he walks away because you expected to be treated with dignity, then he was never your man to begin with. The right man doesn't leave because of your standards. The right man rises because of them. Men will always test boundaries. It's in their nature. They want to see how far they can go, how much they can slide by without giving their full effort. But the moment a woman says, I will not let you treat me as an option, I will not let you come in and out of my life whenever it's convenient for you, that man has to make a choice. And trust me, when a man realizes he can't lose you and he can't play with you, he will straighten up quick. That's when he starts to bring the best version of himself. That's when he starts giving you consistency, loyalty, and respect, because deep down, he knows he can't afford to lose a woman like you. Let me tell you something about men. They respect what they have to work for. If you let a man mistreat you and stay silent about it, he'll think it's acceptable. But if you demand better, not with shouting or anger, but with quiet strength, He hears you loud and clear, and don't underestimate how powerful that is. That kind of strength drives a man crazy because he knows you're not like everybody else. You're not going to let him slide by with excuses. You're not going to let him half love you. You're saying, if you want me, you've got to bring all of you. And here's the beauty of it. When you never let a man treat you less than what you deserve, you create space for the right man to show up and treat you the way you always should have been treated. You're not blocking love. You're filtering out everything that isn't love. And when the right one comes along, he won't see your standards as a burden. He'll see them as a blessing. Because the right man wants to love a woman who knows her worth. He wants to rise to the challenge. He wants to be proud of how he treats you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what makes him go crazy. The most powerful word a woman can use in a relationship is the word no. Too many women are afraid of that word because they think it will push a man away. But in reality, it's the word that makes a man pay attention. Saying no doesn't mean you're difficult. It doesn't mean you're hard to love. And it doesn't mean you shutting someone out. What it really means is that you know your worth, you know your standards, and you're not afraid to stand by them. And when a man hears you say no, when he realizes you're not giving in to everything he wants, that's when he starts to understand the value of your yes. Think about it. If a man can get everything he wants from you without effort, without commitment, without respect, then where's the challenge? Where's the drive? Men thrive when they have something to work for. It's in their DNA to chase, to earn, to conquer. But when you remove the chase by always saying yes, by always being available, by always bending your boundaries, you take away the very thing that makes him value what he has. A yes with no resistance loses its meaning. But when you say no and stand firm, when you show him that your yes has to be earned, it changes everything. Suddenly, he's not just looking at you as another woman, he's looking at you as the prize. The word no sets the tone in a relationship. It tells a man, you can't just walk in here and do as you please. You have to respect me, you have to earn me, you have to prove that you deserve this. And believe me, a man hears that message loud and clear. He may not admit it out loud, but when you say no to something he thought he could get away with, it shocks his system. It makes him rethink his approach. And deep down, that's when he realizes this woman is different. She's not giving me everything just because I asked. She's making me work for her time, her love, her trust, her body, her everything. And that kind of boundary drives him crazy because he knows your yes is valuable. Every yes has power when it's not handed out carelessly. Imagine if you told a man yes to every request, every time he wanted something from you, no matter how he treated you. After a while, he would start to take you for granted. He would expect you to always say yes, and the appreciation would vanish. But when you say no sometimes, when you withhold your yes until he shows up right, your yes becomes a reward. It becomes the proof that he's earned your trust, that he's respected your standards, that he's done the work. And men value what they earn. They don't value what's given away without effort. This doesn't mean you play games. It doesn't mean you become cold. It doesn't mean you withhold love. It means you understand the rhythm of relationships. A no is not rejection, it's redirection. It's telling them that's not enough. Come back when you've got more to give. And when he does, when he puts in the effort, when he finally earns that yes, it will mean more to both of you. Because now it's not just about what he wanted, it's about what he's worked for. The truth is, no keeps you from being taken for granted. It keeps your value high in a man's eyes. Men are wired to respect boundaries, even if they pretend not to like them. And while he might act frustrated when you say no, while he might pout or get upset, deep down he knows it's making him better. He knows it's forcing him to grow up, to step up, to love up. And when he finally gets your yes, it feels like winning the biggest prize of his life. That's why the power of no is so real. It transforms the way a man sees you, treats you, and values you. A man will always chase what he cannot easily claim. It's just how men are wired. From the time they're boys, they love the thrill of the chase, the rush of going after something that isn't simply handed to them. And when it comes to love and relationships, that instinct doesn't disappear. If anything, it becomes stronger. When a man feels like he has to work for a woman's time, her attention, her respect, and her love, that's when he starts to see her as rare, as special, as someone worth fighting for. But when everything comes too easy, when there's no challenge, when there's nothing to earn, he loses the very fire that keeps him invested. Think about it. The things in life that people value most are never the things that came without effort. Nobody brags about the test they didn't study for but passed by luck. Nobody cherishes the job they didn't have to work for. What people treasure are the things they had to sweat for, the things they had to fight to keep, the things that tested their patience and character. And it's the same with men in relationships. When he feels like he has to chase you, when he knows you're not going to fall into his lap just because he asked, it drives him crazy in the best way. It activates something in him that says, this is worth it. Now, don't confuse this with playing games. It's not about pretending to be busy when you're not or acting like you don't care when you do. That's not what keeps a man chasing. What really makes a man pursue is knowing that you have standards, that you're not just available to anyone, that you don't hand over your heart and your body without trust, commitment, and respect. That's what makes him run after you. That's what keeps him on his toes, making plans, being intentional, and proving himself. Men are hunters at the core. When something is handed to them with no effort, they don't hold on to it the same way. But when they have to earn it, when they have to put in energy, when they have to show up consistently, they value it more deeply. That's why so many men will chase a woman they can't easily have while ignoring the one who's always waiting around. It's not because the waiting woman isn't valuable, it's because she hasn't shown him that he needs to earn her. She hasn't given him the chase, and without the chase, he doesn't feel the weight of her worth. A man will chase a woman who makes him prove his intentions. He'll chase the woman who doesn't just melt because of sweet talk. He'll chase the woman who hears his promises but waits for his actions. And let me tell you something. When a man is chasing, he's not just chasing your beauty. He's chasing your respect, your confidence, your independence, your strength. That's what really pulls him in. That's what makes him want to win you over again and again. The mistake many women make is thinking that by saying yes too quickly, by giving everything without asking for anything in return, they're securing a man's love. But the truth is, it works the opposite way. Men are not wired to treasure what was easy. They're wired to treasure what was worth the pursuit. So if you want to see a man go crazy for you, don't hand him everything on the first ask. Make him show up. Make him be consistent. Make him prove he's not just here for the moment, but here for the long run. That chase, that effort, that proving himself, that's what makes him hold on tighter when he finally has you. And here's the beauty of it. When a man has chased you, when he's worked for your love, when he's put in the effort, he doesn't let go easily because he knows how much he invested to have you. He knows the road wasn't easy. He knows you didn't just fall into his arms without thought. And that's when he values you the most. That's when he looks at you and says, this is mine and I'm not letting her go. Because a man will always chase what he cannot easily claim. And once he's claimed it, he treasures it like nothing else. Boundaries create mystery and desire because they protect the parts of you that a man has to earn. When you don't put everything out on the table right away, when you don't let someone have all of you without proving themselves, you keep a sense of curiosity alive. And curiosity is powerful. It's what makes a man lean in closer. It's what makes him keep calling, keep showing up, keep chasing. When he doesn't know everything about you, when you don't reveal every detail of your heart, your past, your body, and your soul all at once, you become unforgettable. You give him something to figure out, and that keeps him coming back. A man doesn't go crazy over what he already has in full without effort. He goes crazy over what he's still trying to unlock. And boundaries create that. When you say, I don't share this part of me until I trust you, or I don't let anyone speak to me a certain way, or I don't rush into intimacy, you are creating a powerful line that separates you from every other woman he's met. You're not doing it to play games. You're doing it because you value yourself. And when a man sees that, it sparks a fire inside him. He wants to know more. He wants to prove himself. He wants to earn access to the parts of you that no one else can just take. The mystery doesn't mean you hide who you are. It means you reveal yourself in layers at the right time to the right man. Desire is born in the waiting, in the wondering, in the not knowing everything too quickly. When you give everything away without boundaries, the fire burns out fast because there's nothing left to discover. But when you hold back with wisdom, when you create space for him to pursue you, desire grows stronger. That's when he starts replaying your words in his head. That's when he can't stop thinking about you. That's when he feels like he has to do more to stay close to you. Boundaries keep you from being ordinary. They show him that you're not desperate for attention, that you're not giving yourself to just anyone, that he has to bring his best if he wants to get closer. And here's the truth. The right man doesn't run from boundaries. The right man respects them because they add value to the relationship. They make your yes more meaningful. They make your trust more sacred. They make your love more powerful. And that's what drives a man crazy. The fact that he can't just walk in and claim you without proving who he is. So when you stand by your boundaries, you are not pushing love away. You are making room for real love. You are creating an atmosphere where mystery keeps the spark alive and desire grows deeper every day. A queen doesn't have to shout about who she is. She shows it through her boundaries. A man learns how to love her not by what she says, but by what she allows and what she refuses. Every time you let a man cross a line without correcting him, you're teaching him that it's acceptable. Every time you stand firm and say, I don't accept that, you're teaching him how to treat you right. Love is not about demanding, it's about guiding. It's about setting the standard and showing a man what you will and won't tolerate. And the truth is, men learn quickly when they realize a woman won't bend for bad behavior. When a woman knows she's a queen, she doesn't allow disrespect, she doesn't allow half-hearted effort, and she doesn't allow a man to come and go when he pleases. By refusing those things, she's not being cold. She's teaching him the level of love she deserves. And here's what makes a man go crazy. He realizes that if he wants her, he has to rise to her level. He has to give her loyalty, respect, and consistency. She's not going to clap for the bare minimum. She's not impressed by empty words. She wants actions, and she makes that clear by what she allows in her life. At the same time, a queen also teaches a man through what she accepts. When he treats her with kindness, she responds with grace. When he invests effort, she meets it with appreciation. When he steps up, she makes him feel like the king he wants to be. And that balance of allowing the good and refusing the bad shapes him. It makes him better, it makes him stronger, and it makes him value her even more. Men crave direction, even if they don't admit it. Deep down, they want a woman who sets the bar high because it brings out the best in them. When a man finds a woman who teaches him how to love through her boundaries, he doesn't want to let her go because she's not just showing him love, she's showing him how to be the kind of man who deserves it.